Oh, you should check my mail here.
Y'all working in the garage today? Thinking he cut down on something, because Terry called me, why couldn't he say?
Everyone
I said, it's not upstairs.
for executive session. Well, I've got 9 pages here. Well, I went through on mine, and I highlighted just the things that we, and I print this in black and white.
Good.
Oh, no. So I just sat
And
there
it wasn't in the card, like
information meeting, highlighting them all over again.
Oh, that's funny, that Mary was saying that on this, when I scanned it, there was no leaves. It's like it's the winter tree.
Have you heard from him?
I was moving stuff around in the garage.
It is winter.
So I can put
Give her a couple minutes.
Get ready for winter, yeah.
Then we'll
Hi. Good, and you?
a ton of tools, I'm trying to get rid of it. I gotta start cleaning it.
Yeah, I have no text or nothing. So we'll give Ray a few minutes, because I didn't hear anything, so he's very good at, if he's not gonna be here, we would know unless something happened.
Yeah.
Picked up the generator, so now I got to have one more room for it.
Picture was there
Oh,
for
it's
a
hard
minute,
to
but
see
now
out
it's
there.
It's
gone.
on Anthony Hill still, from the power outage.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Milan, VRZIC?
Yeah, that's Milan.
Oh, Milan. Picture was there for a moment, but it's
This one's
gone.
brand new, and a friend of mine has it, but he didn't run it. So
You lost the photo lead.
it started, things
Right.
were brand new.
There's no photo, there's no picture.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, looks like your lawnmower over winter, they say, run it low as pretty hot as you can.
I'll move.
It was Nicole.
I know, I moved it.
Nicole moved it. Let's try something else.
Oh, yeah.
Let me try.
What goes electric start if the power's out? That won't work.
Oh, yeah, it's got
Generator. Oh, it's,
What?
okay, okay.
Let me try this.
Let me know. I got Vicky recording it and dispatch, so if somebody wants a copy, it's
I,
always there.
I'm gonna do some, now this worked last time. I don't know if it's gonna work now.
Oh, my.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
I mean, I
Right,
don't know.
can you check it?
Check that.
Hey, Ray, we're glad you're here.
Oh, they made it.
Yep.
I don't know if this one's gonna come back up. Cause we already clicked it.
Hello.
There you go, Brian.
Oh,
Did it come back up? Okay, yeah. You may have to,
Let me just see if it goes off.
How's everybody doing, guys?
good, and you?
Oh, you think I gotta reboot it?
you may have to reboot it, go back into it. The people at home are used to that by now. Figuring it out.
So who's ready for Christmas?
Not
Are
even
you showing
close.
it?
I just
No, I
finished
just, I
my
was just
trees
making sure
today.
Oh,
my ring was.
I'm
I don't
hoping
have any
this
other
weekend
Hadn't gotten
to
to
get
that
the tree
stage
up.
yet.
I'm hoping,
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the tree up.
yeah.
I have a lot of
Yep,
wrapping and
okay.
final shopping to do.
Is that where you said?
That makes me nervous.
Me too.
Okay.
I had, like I said, I had her recording it too. Okay, everything looks good on there. All right. Everybody ready?
Yep.
All right. I'd like to welcome everybody to the special council meeting of the Village of Walton Hills of Tuesday, December 10th, 2024 at 7:05 p.m. I'd like to also welcome any residents or non-residents that are watching our live stream. Okay, roll call, Nikki.
Councilman Nielsen?
Here.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Here.
Councilwoman Allen?
Here.
Councilman Spitznagel.
Here.
Councilman Whedon?
Present.
All of council is here, along with our fiscal officer Nicole Sell, our law director John Montello, and our fiscal clerk Melissa Sandrick. Okay. All right, next order of business, Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 4 is, I'm going to ask for a motion to go in executive session. I just want to let the residents, non-residents, and anybody watching our live stream or is here, when we reconvene, we do have some legislative items that we're going to review that there's a couple that we are even going to vote on tonight. So I just know sometimes I like to let everyone know, so in case they want to continue watching. After the special council meeting, we are going to have our COW meeting to follow, hopefully to wrap up our operating budget for 2025 and have it ready for next week's council meeting. The reason we have the special council meeting before the COW meeting and why we're having the executive motion first is we have our legal representation here tonight that wants to go in executive session to discuss some pending or imminent court action. So to get John here at 7 o'clock, we put him first on the agenda. And we can't go into executive session from a COW meeting, so we had to have the special council meeting to go into executive session. So I hope that kind of explains why we're doing it this way. So at this time, I'd like to ask for and we're going to go in executive session in the meeting room back here, so if anybody wants to stay, they can stay. I'd like to ask for a motion.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Spitznagel.
I'd like to make a motion to convene into executive session to discuss pending or imminent court action, to discuss personnel matters regarding dispatchers, and to discuss non-bargaining employee compensation.
Second?
Second by Councilman Nielsen. Vote on the motion.
Councilman Nielsen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Yes.
Councilwoman Allen?
Yes.
Councilman Spitznagel.
Yes.
Councilman Whedon?
Yes. Okay, executive session motion passed 5-0. So we will go in executive session. When we come out, we will reconvene and finish the rest of the meeting, everything that's on the agenda. Okay.
You can just pause that, Nicole. Don't end the stream, just,
Don't make sure you do it right. We're gonna argue.
How do you move it? Oh, here. I thought this was a touch screen.
Yeah.
We thought
Let me go check it though.
you probably thought we left or something.
Let me go check it real quick.
Oh, yeah, there's always paperwork or something to work on, but then you get tired, your eyes get tired, and you're like, you're on the computer too much.
she didn't put us back to live streaming yet.
It's streaming, it's an excellent connection.
Okay, it'll take a minute, probably.
Are they supposed to be recording it down the hall?
That's left for bringing candy.
Right? John said, ta-da, thank you. I think that was when we got the video back on. And somebody else said W's in the chat. I don't know what that means. There's no W's.
Okay, I think we're back.
Is it just my packet, or is everybody's like backwards?
We're all backwards.
It's stapled on the wrong side. When I put it through the copier, I
So
hit the
then it
wrong
was-
staple.
Uh-huh. Left.
Right?
Right.
Yep. That's why I like to do the agendas Friday, not Monday.
Right.
I don't feel as frazzled.
Mm-hmm.
What am I holding?
Your name got mentioned.
I see it.
It's not here.
My volume's off. I don't know about audio.
Oh. Is the audio working? Do we have bars? Hello, hello, hello? Do we have bars?
It says excellent connection.
No, down there in the graph, in the equalizer portion, there'll be a bar, there should be a bar moving.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hello? Okay.
We got it. All right, let's go. Good evening, we are back from executive session. Can I get a motion to reconvene from executive session?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to reconvene out of executive session.
Second.
Vote on the motion.
Councilman Nielsen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Yes.
Councilwoman Allen?
Yes.
Councilman Spitznagel?
Yes.
Councilman Whedon?
Yes.
Okay, we are back from executive session at 10:08 PM. That's when we reconvene. Okay. Nikki, you wanted, I know you have a set of minutes on there, and I know we're working on getting our minutes, looking at different companies to do some things to catch up, but there's a reason Nikki can talk about why these are definitely here. We'd like to maybe pass them tonight, but go ahead, Nikki.
They're the regular meeting minutes from passing the bond issue for the note in October. They need those to finalize all their paperwork, so I sort of sped those up to get them on.
Okay.
We could vote on that tonight, or we can just move that to the next council meeting. Are we okay, Nikki, too, date-wise and everything? We move those in the next council meeting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Either way. What would you guys like to do? Would you like to just move, pass them when we do our next meeting?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, you're good with that, right, Nikki?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then, so we'll have that on the agenda. We have legislation for ordinance 2024-18, the speed camera ordinance. We talked about that. As we reviewed it a little more, we set it up and we reviewed it a little more. There's a few things we want to look over, so we don't even want to put that on for first reading. Correct, John?
Yep, Councilman Spitznagel pointed out a mistake on my part. Yes.
So we really wanted, so if you guys are okay, well, at least we talked about it quite a bit. We're talking, it's on here.
Yeah, we're trying, and we have a meeting with Gasco Mayor on, via Zoom, Thursday.
Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
1:30 to
And just to let you know, the contract, we are gonna discuss it, but the contract we received from Mark Devitsis from Gasco returned the call. I got this from Suzanne and Dave. They confirmed the current contract will renew through January 9, 2027. Remember, we said we were questioning those 2 extra years. So the existing contract, but we'd like to sharpen the pencils with it. But we are good with the existing contract through January 9, 2027, from what I have in front of me here.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
just a quick note here. I don't know that it means that much, but my last name is spelled N-E-I.
Where did I mess that up?
You have it. Just going,
Oh, I do have an IE. Okay.
I mean, I don't think that,
no, that's okay, it's good to point them out.
Mayor Colgrove.
Yes,
Yeah, I had a question regarding the GATSCO, you mentioned the GATSCO contract.
yes.
So when that, is that just they offer what the new contract will be, or is that actually a negotiated session to arrive at the new contract amount?
No, that, John, correct me if I'm wrong, and that's what we're trying to find out, that renews the current terms. Okay, well, we'd like to have, we're gonna have discussion with them to talk about maybe modifying those terms.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
but this ordinance is just, that's not revising our GATSO
nothing to do with
contract.
that.
This is just the fines.
Correct.
So, and ideally, we would like to pass that next week, so it could start January 1.
We would, that would be our goal.
Okay.
I have one question, when you get done.
Go ahead, Jen, go ahead.
About
I mean,
the
John,
speeding of violations. You guys wanted to go to 175. Is that gonna be 12 to 19? We're gonna raise it to 175? Because there were several levels here.
Did you talk to Suzanne?
I will.
Let's do that.
Will do
No.
that.
No.
Instead of confusing.
They're not gonna be familiar with that part of it. But, correct, we're gonna, because the agreement was to raise it the same on all the increments, the same amount.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just a matter of getting those numbers correct.
Mhm.
So, that's why I'd rather not
That was the
vote
only
on first reading of those, because otherwise then we gotta make amendments. We talked about it, they're on here. But yes, I would ask for suspension of the, regular council meeting minutes, suspension of the speed camera with fixing legislation, okay? And, then we have the ODOT. There's some clarification there that Mr. Kelman would like to see, along with John. They talked this afternoon, so we're also gonna make some revisions to that, okay? So we don't wanna put that on, but, and then we have, now Nikki, why don't you talk about this a little bit, because we could pass this, or we could put this would be okay. Probably make more sense to put them, this would be okay for next meeting too, correct?
Yes.
But if you wanna talk about item C, resolution 2024-35.
So that just would change the authorized representatives on our PNC. That is currently Vic Nagallo, Angela Reve, and Katie Iconis, to Melissa and myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
We thought we changed it once already, we did,
Yeah.
we were a little confused, because me and Nikki thought we changed it to me and you,
Right.
and what they're saying we didn't, so.
Well, absolutely, and on the next meeting, if that's under suspension, I have no issue with that.
Yeah.
Those other names should be removed as soon as possible.
Oh, we can do that now, if you
Yeah.
want.
I'm fine with that, too.
Get it done and over with, that way you can deal with it this week. You don't have to wait another week.
Sure.
Okay, well, any questions on anything above C?
Mayor, I did have a question on ODOT,
Okay.
but I'm going to hold on that until next week. I'll just throw it out there, though, that maybe you know the answer offhand, maybe not, maybe we can get it for next week. The contract dealt with snow plowing and signage of Northfield, Route 8 there. And then it said, maintenance by any other agreement. It did include that. I thought we, bless you, I thought we did, is this is not the agreement we're signing for them to do maintenance that Mr. Gelati was talking about?
No.
That's a separate thing altogether.
Correct. This is separate. We've never had this
You're right.
and the clarification we're trying to, we want, so we might just have it for first reading next week, is that, when you read that, it says unless another agreement has been
Yes.
reached.
Yes,
And we're trying to find out, how do you reach that other agreement?
right.
We've actually been doing a lot of this for a long, long time, and it's one of those things that has come up on there, on ODOT's end.
Huh.
So we're gonna get that all, hopefully, if not straightened out, we could leave it off or put it in first reading. If it's really something that we're gonna think we're gonna need more time, we're just gonna leave it off, instead of putting us in that thing, but we're eventually gonna have to get it straight, because, it's all good. It's not a, they've been salting, we salt, and Rob did have some conversations, with two of the administrators, and they said, well, you're supposed to salt, but if you ever need us, call us and we'll salt. So I think it's just, the paperwork needs to be there, but the agreement is, we've never had a problem.
Right, okay.
So am I kind of spelling it out?
Yes.
Correct, I know you had conversations with, Rob today too. So, anything else above that? Otherwise, I'll
Mr. Mayor?
ask for to vote on item C, resolution 2024-35, PNC authorized representatives.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to introduce for suspension, resolution number 2024-35, a resolution authorizing an extension of credit and incumbency certificate with PNC Bank National Association with the village and declaring an emergency.
Is there a second?
Second?
Second, motion made by Councilwoman Allen, seconded by Councilman Nielsen. Vote on the suspension.
Councilman Nielsen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Yes.
Councilwoman Allen?
Yes.
Councilman Spitznagel.
Yes.
Councilman Whedon?
Yes.
Okay, suspension passed. Councilman Allen,
Mr. Mayor, I would like to ask for...
Councilwoman Allen, I'm sorry,
That's okay.
apologize.
I would like to ask for adoption of resolution 2024-35.
Second?
Second by Councilman Nielsen. Vote on the adoption.
Councilman Nielsen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Yes.
Councilwoman Allen?
Yes.
Councilman Spitznagel.
Yes.
Councilman Whedon?
Yes.
Okay. Resolution 2024-35 passed, 5-0. Thank you, everybody. Okay, is there a motion for adjournment?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for adjournment.
Second?
Okay, motion made by Councilwoman Allen, second by Councilman Nielsen. Vote on the motion.
Councilman Nielsen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Yes.
Councilwoman Allen?
Yes.
Councilman Spitznagel.
Yes.
Councilman Whedon?
Yes.
Okay, special council meeting adjourned at 10:19 PM. Okay, we're gonna go right into our, because you only have one link, correct?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna go right into our COW meeting. Is everybody good, or do you wanna take a? Nope, we're good, right? We're gonna keep rolling here, because I think we don't have a real lot. We've really, the last couple meetings. Okay. I'd like to welcome everybody to the committee of the whole meeting of the Village of Walton Hills of Tuesday, December 10th, 2024 at 10:20 PM. Okay, I call to order. How about Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Okay, roll call.
Councilman Nielsen?
Here.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Here.
Councilwoman Allen?
Here.
Councilman Spitznagel.
Here.
Councilman Whedon?
Present.
Okay, all council here, along with our fiscal officer, Nicole Sell, our law director, John Montello, and our fiscal clerk, Melissa Sandrick. Okay. Any comments related to agenda items? Okay, I don't see any at this time. We have one item on here that's finance discussion, 2025 budget. I know we talked about, spent quite a bit of time last week talking about an operating budget, passing that instead of a temporary budget, and the pros and cons, and also how we all work together to reduce the deficit for the 2025 budget. I know Nikki and Melissa have some updates to that, so if you want to take it over from there, Nikki?
Sure. So, the main things that we made adjustments to were the addition of 2% increases for employees for 2025. We added $19.50 to the Parker program income, which was the additional $50 for the residents and grandchildren, and then that was $100, I believe, for the, and other than that, the only other big adjustment that I did make was reducing the transfer from the general fund to the capital fund due to being able to pay for some capital projects out of our ARPA funding, so I didn't need to transfer as much to the capital. It left some balance in there.
Is that exhausted now?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
what line item does that show on?
The transfer?
The transfer, yeah, and the income of that money and then the transfer?
The income of that money goes into the special revenue account.
Okay,
So the only thing that's going to show here is the transfer.
and transfer out.
And that's gonna be on the second to last page. It shows transfers out capital, 130,307.
Second,
It's like one of the last lines.
Page 8.
page 8 of 9, okay. Transfers out, capital, yeah, it's the last line, okay. So that went down to 130,307.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Nikki, I know your opening statement, you mentioned the raise for 2025. Did you not account for 24 in here too?
I did account for 24, 2%,
Okay. With retro?
correct.
Okay. Okay. I know, I just wanted,
So Mayor Colgraf?
yes.
Yeah, I do have a question regarding personnel.
Mhm.
I know we just talked about the 2% retro of 2024 and the 2% for 2025. But my concern is the actual staffing levels. Are we currently, all of our employee positions filled in Walton Hills? Do we have any openings in 2024 in Walton Hills?
Right now, all our positions are filled.
As far as I know.
Yeah?
Okay. So then, with that being said, you know, and being that we are still trying to reduce a deficit, I just wanted to express that I think it would be a good, prudent for us to go into this operating only budget, knowing that we still have other items that need to be added with no additional positions funded above the 2024 staffing level.
Okay, is council, so Nikki, that would be a reduction? Do we have we have an extra position in the police department right now?
I did
Is that-
include what additional police officer in the 2025 budget,
A full-time or part-time?
full-time.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
So
Mr. Stevenson.
currently, with that added position in, if we have any retirements next year, we would be, if we had a retirement next year, we would then be at the minimum level
Correct.
still, if we had that position. If we do not have that position funded, we would not be at the minimum
Mm,
level, or we would,
No,
we would be one more with that position funded, correct?
Correct.
We would be at one more than the minimum level with that position funded.
Correct.
Okay.
no. We have one additional officer in there.
Yes.
So if we have a retirement and we fill it, we still have one additional officer in there.
Yeah, and that's my concern, Mayor, is that, you know, in a budget that we're already at deficit level, and the fact that we are only, at this point, considering an operating budget and have not included the other potential capital expenditures that will come down the road. I see no difference in addressing a potential additional staff member down the road. I think I don't see why we would include an additional staff member to the tune of approximately $100,000 when we're facing, and we haven't balanced the budget yet. That's a big contribution to although Nikki did a great job of reducing the transfer for we're still facing a deficit, and I think we need to be as close as we possibly can to a balanced budget when we appropriate 2025.
Okay. Is council in agreement, so we want to take that out then? Or at least give you the numbers to look at that at the next, or in between the next meeting? That way you can confirm that we have, unless you know for sure, I'm sure you do, that we have everybody in there plus one. And that includes the part-timer that we made full-time.
Yes, it does include our current staffing situation plus one.
Mr. Mayor, I
Yes.
agree with Ray Whedon that it should be, in order to balance this budget closer, take that one extra off of there.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes,
I think if that were in there, it would give prima facie authority to hire an additional person. And I know it takes time to hire a police officer and everything, but I'm tending to agree with Mr. Whedon and Mrs. Canzoni for now, and we can always revisit it if we do have any retirements or things change.
any other comments from anybody else?
No,
Okay,
Mr. Mayor, I'm in total agreement.
okay, any other comments? So Nikki, remove that. right? Is that what, that's what council is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then we're gonna present this again. Because it'd be nice if we could pass this operating budget next council meeting under suspension, okay? If not, we'd have to have another meeting before the end of the year, whether we pass a temporary one, correct, Nikki, or the operating budget. Why don't we do this? We know we're gonna have another executive session, correct? We're gonna have these items on here that were in the council meeting on there. I'm thinking, we should probably have a COW meeting before the council meeting. Do you guys not agree with that? That would give us a chance to relook at this with that number. We'd have all the final numbers. We'd see the final deficit, exactly what you're voting on. We'd also be able to discuss any of those ordinances, the two that are on here, okay? And anything else. And then, so we'd have that. So we'd have a COW meeting before the council meeting, or do I just put it on the agenda? How do we want to have discussion, or am I better off having a separate COW meeting? When it's everybody?
Mayor, it just depends when you wanna do the executive session, I guess, if we
Yeah.
have the COW. I don't know if you wanna do it similar to the way we did today, have it before any legislation, or not, it doesn't matter to me, just in case the attorney's here, and,
Right.
although he could wait too.
Yeah, he can wait. He
Yeah,
can.
exactly.
Okay, well, why don't we decide that? We'll still have a COW meeting. I think we should still have the COW meeting. He can come later.
Okay.
Okay, have the COW meeting, have the council meeting with an executive session, and then the legislation.
Mr. Mayor?
Are you guys, does that make, yes?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, would it work to all of our benefits to have the COW meeting at 6? And that way, when the lawyer comes, I mean,
What do you guys, let me look at my thing. What do you guys think?
Doesn't bother me.
Does that work out a little better, so we don't have this 11
Yeah.
o'clock marathon? I don't know.
I'm good with an earlier start.
I'm good with the earlier.
It's fine.
I
We
don't
started at 6:30 technically tonight.
Yeah, you guys,
Yeah.
yeah, we're all here, let me look at, so that would be, what's our date, the 17th?
Mhm.
Yeah, that would work for me too. Nikki? Melissa, you guys work for you guys? Okay. So everybody good with that? Well,
Yes.
let's do this, so we'll do the COW meeting at 6, and then the council meeting at 7. That way we can kind of review everything that we just went over, not kind of, but we will review everything we went over. And have the meeting with an executive session, a short executive session, I hope. And then have the legislation. We're kind of stuck putting the executive session first, because, you know, it just, we gotta have the executive session first, that's right, because we'll be talking probably about part of the legislation, so, okay,
Mr. Mayor,
yes,
um,
Jennifer.
Nikki, I have a quick question for you on the budget here. Under street maintenance and repair salaries, you have overtime that we were budgeted 0 for this year, and next year we've got 30,000.
This year, we didn't distinguish overtime and regular time. For the service department, we were planning on making a year-end adjustment for
Okay.
that. But we did have $30,000 in the budget. We just used it all in the regular. Everything was kind of combined in regular.
Oh, okay, because I saw that I didn't know if it was a typo, 'cause we
Yeah.
were at 5,000 and then just under 3,000.
Yes, and last year was closer to 20 or 30,000, I believe, the original.
Okay. Thank you.
And a lot of that, as everybody knows, relates to if we have a bad winter or not too, you know, that's where a lot of that is, you know, that is.
Mayor Colgraf?
Yes.
Yeah, I had another question regarding, is there any other pending or potential legislation, you know, anything else that needs, other than the operating budget, anything else that needs to go to the county before the end of the year?
Mr. Mayor?
Go ahead, you can answer it.
We'll be finishing up and making any final budget amendments for the year. So there would, if we need to, we'll make a budget amendment for any line items. What goes to the county would be our budget that we pass, if we pass it next week, for 2025, as well as any unencumbered balances for 2025. So that would all go to the county.
Anything regarding special assessments?
The special assessments, no, those are, I believe, are in June, well, we did them in June this year. They're due a little bit later, I think August, but we did them prior to the recess for the summer.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But we could have some legislation for an appropriation for next Tuesday? Or you're saying,
We may we may have a couple budget amendments. We're finishing up the year and we won't be completely done by next week, but we'll have a good idea of where we're at.
so if it doesn't pass, if we don't do anything with it next week, we're okay? Would we have to have?
We would have to pass it before the end of the year, any budget amendments, yes.
Okay. So we'd like to have it for next week.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
the question.
kind of everybody's,
The next Tuesday's Christmas Eve.
We met on Christmas Eve one year, didn't we?
yeah, I think we might have. I'm trying not to remember that.
Maybe we could make it at noon.
This job
then.
doesn't always help your family, you know. They're
Still
mad
Christmas
that,
Eve.
They're all coming over.
Marion's still mad about the sewer payment, I mean, my gosh, why'd you vote, you know, I mean, it's like, oh my God. Okay, so that even gives us more reason to have a COW meeting, so you can discuss those appropriations to that and stuff. Which, those are ones we have to do. So it's not a matter of, it's just finalizing it.
Right.
Okay. All right, so, got sharpen your pencil, Melissa. Okay, so, anything, else for item 5, finance discussion? Nikki, anything else you wanted to share, or anything else council, wants to talk about?
No.
Okay, well, everybody else good?
On the finance, I'd just like to.
Okay,
that
we're
real
gonna, Mr. Spitznagel, you got the floor.
Oh, thank you, sir. There's a gentleman here before, and I apologize profusely to him on our error. He was just going to give a brief,
My error too.
a brief presentation, just a couple minutes of, he was from the Cuyahoga County Board of Developmental Disabilities. His name is Michael Lively, and either he will come back. The intent was to have him either speak today or his colleague, a lady, come in possibly next week. And he's going to email us to tell us if she can come in and that we can put her on the COW agenda for next week. Again, it would only be just a matter of a 2-minute presentation, and then if we had any questions. I told him that he had it all written out. I told him that I'd be happy to read it tonight, but he said, no, that's okay, we'll just come back, and that way if somebody has any questions about anything, we can answer them directly. But he did leave me with these things. I did put some of them out in the lobby there in the holder, and it just gives some information on the Department of Developmental Disabilities from the county, what their services are.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Jennifer Allen.
It just, if they're gonna come next week, that they know the COW will be at 6.
Yeah, we'll advise them of that.
Yeah, we'll make sure of that, we'll just have them right after the pledge, right after roll call, or, you know, comments related to the agenda. I'm gonna in fact put that on there right now too. Okay, under other business, just wanna remind everybody about the employee luncheon this Friday, correct, Nikki?
Correct.
12 noon, right? Isn't it? Yeah. Everybody see that email, and
Mhm.
like everybody to be there. If they can, that'd be great. Santa delivery is Saturday. And got a busy week ahead of us, and busy Tuesday. I think passing that operating budget, I think will really be an advantage for us. I know that's something Nikki and Melissa would like to see. I think from my standpoint, following their lead, that it's probably the right thing to do at this time with that large deficit. And I really appreciate it, just everybody, this committee and plus the staff, and includes the other staff too, from crunching the numbers and really getting to where, I mean, we'd like to see 0, but certainly a lot different than 700.
Mhm.
So, and it still doesn't, you know, we'll see what happens moving forward too, so. And it doesn't mean to the department heads that the door is closed, we just, you know, have to look at things individually and look at what time might be this month, or it could be another month that just works best, and we'll follow your lead on that. Anybody else have anything for other business for tonight? Okay, I'd like to ask,
Next week.
all right, I'd like to ask for adjournment.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for adjournment of the Committee of the Whole meeting.
Second.
Second, vote on the adjournment.
Councilman Nielsen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Yes.
Councilwoman Allen?
Yes.
Councilman Spitznagel.
Yes.
Councilman Whedon?
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. Meeting adjourned at 10:43 PM. Boy, that was a marathon, huh? Thank you, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, turn that off.
Right.